Gonna do a quick check and make sure we are live. Show me something here. Show me a little something. Let me see it. Let me see. I don't want to get into this and not see me. Come on. Come on, give me something. I want to see me. Oh, where am I? Come on. Work with me. Just show me me. I don't want to get in here and get started until I can see me. Come on. Come on. I know I'm live. Show me. Where am I? Where am I? You're gonna watch your own videos? Yes, I am. I may be a bit odd, but I like me. But where am I? I'm supposed to be live. Where's my live video? Where am I? Come on, show me. Aha! There I is. Anywho. Aha! There I is. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now. Oh yeah, here we go. This is it. Perfect day. Hands already starting to sweat. Nerves kicking up. It's time to take me some therapy. So, all I gotta do should be change the time. Now I gotta remember how to do that. Alright, well, then all I have to do is check my notes. Because I take notes. It's probably why I did so well in school. Actually, I just did well in school because I like to understand things. I don't like to just have a head knowledge of something. I want to be able to perceive extra. Like if someone's working on my truck, changing my oil, I want to watch them. Because there's a part of me that says, hey, that's pretty cool. What are they doing? How are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Is it different on other cars? A craving for understanding. Ah, the whole... Yes. Okay, so... G set... time. And it's 7 p.m. I'm a brand new trucker. Don't know much better. He's gonna wake up at... Let's see, if he piddle farts around at a truck stop somewhere, or at a hotel, eats him some supper, washes his clothes, so that he keeps clean clothes in rotation. He can go to bed at, say, 12, and from there, he can wake up at 6, get the early rise breakfast at the hotel, and from there, yeah, he should be able to, yep, okay, we'll just set it for 8, and call it a day. So that time will update. Oh, right, close that out. Now I can move. And now I pick me a job. Ah, see, there we go. Let's see, frack. Let's see, no, actually. The last place I went to was Grand Canyon Village, yes. So, from Grand Canyon Village, not much, but I can take me a short load here from Grand Canyon to Gallup. Puts me in a 49X. Yeah, the Western Stars are all my favorites, but I'm pretty sure this 5700, that's going to be my new favorite. That's why I have it back here. It's just perfect. Combines the sleek aerodynamics of modern technology with the classic look of some of those old trucks that I can admire going down the road. So, yeah, we'll just go straight from here, and we'll take some cables. Okay, 505, that's enough for 37,000. Then that's plus the trailer, plus the 10-ton truck. It's got the classic 12-speed. Okay, that should be fine. Should have no issues here. So from the hotel, you get up, take an Uber to the job, clock in, do some paperwork, make sure the truck warms up, check that the cables are tied down firmly, which, of course, they would be. Check to make sure there are maybe some backup tools here in the compartment on the trailer. Check tire pressure, which some trucks are actually nice enough to have places to hook up an air hose. Yeah, like they have on those kind of the tanks. Word, whatever. Anyway, decent color. Dashboard's working. Yep, I recognize all of this. Nice enough to give me a sleeper, even though this is a day job. There's my fridge. Or is the fridge behind the, that might be the fridge. Oh yeah, there's just storage behind the cab. Okay. Put her in gear. Make sure that, yes, tug test is complete. Oof, only leaving with half a tank though. So, release the air. And let's get to moving. Life is a highway. I wonder why it sounds like this. See, this is where, if Dad weren't sleeping right now, so that he could get up for work, he could tell me, probably just by the sound of what motor this is in this Western Star, that is cutting it close. Oh, convenient. I'll come in here. Hopefully I don't get myself stuck. Oh, that should be fine. Alright. Lock the truck's brakes. We are good. Fill her up, champ. Thank you. Let's go automated manuals. Anybody coming? Nope. Alrighty then. Let's head out, Girl Scout. Ooh, don't speed. Don't speed. We gotta behave. I'm not driving my own trucks yet, so I'll treat other people's vehicles nicely. Except I can't see around this tree. Oh, we got a semi coming that way. We got nobody coming this other way. Oh, you're fine. Oh, bad timing. Okay. What are you doing? You better move, because I'm coming out. Alrighty then. Shall we continue? And if nobody joins me, then it's me, myself, and I, and Jesus. We all four have a very nice conversation. Okay, that'd technically be 6. Father, Son, and Spirit, me, myself, and I. We can all have a nice back and forth conversation. Nice and easy. Making them extra wide today. Yeah, I can tell 505 isn't a lot. And this 12 speed doesn't add for maneuverability. Which is fine, I'll just make sure to mentally compensate. Today was actually a pretty easy day. Even though my little sis was sick at home. A little bit of cough and a runny nose. Which I get it, it's not cool. So I just had to watch her and the dogs and everybody else. Because I'm the housekeeper. Housekeeping! But I digress. Then after fixing lunch, I had to take me a shower. Because you gotta take care of yourself. At least a little bit. That's what women like. They like to see a nice, clean-shaven man, even though I didn't meet any my age. And then go and have my dentist appointment. Just a regular checkup. Go in. Dentist was nice enough to hand me a mirror so that I could look at what he was looking at. And so he could explain stuff about my teeth and tell me there's a couple things I gotta work with, but hey. Eso sí que es. Señores y señoras, yo no hablo español. I don't know how to say I am learning, but I tend to take my time learning and not rush these kind of things. If there's anything I want to cram about right now, it's about, well, how real truckers used to do things. I had to talk with my dad today about the whole logbook experience. And good night. You might as well call it a lie book. Because even though the regulations weren't electronic until, what, 4 or so years ago, people still had to take care of their logs. And of course, to make good on his time, a trucker needed to, well, lie. And even though lying is normally a sin, there are times that the Lord allows it. Take the Hebrew women of Moses' day. They were really good liars to the Egyptian women, because in that day was a decree. If a Hebrew has a female child, she can keep it. But if they have a male child, it is to be thrown in the river. And, well, Moses' mom followed the law, threw him in the river, but at least she put him in a wicker basket. And it washed up, and Pharaoh's daughter decided to keep him. But unlike her, the other women had to get crafty. So, when the Egyptian women would come and say, "What is it with your Hebrew women? Why did you not come and get us when she was in labor?" Their answer was, "The Hebrew women are strong and give birth quickly. They are not like you Egyptian women." I'm paraphrasing clearly, but you get the point. It was both a stab at the Egyptians and a sly way of being like, well, we couldn't be there, liars. What? Hey, it saved lives. After all, to everything there is a season, so... I mean, the Lord would even have us... Well, actually that's not true. It can be confused as lying to yourself, but in fact, you're speaking truth over your lies. When you're calling something that is not as though it were. Like your current circumstance. If you're stuck in a 9-to-5 somewhere and feel your life is draining, you can start speaking to yourself. I live in the abundance of the Lord, and His favor follows me everywhere I go. And if you repeat it enough times, the universe will listen to you, because God made it to follow His principles. And all you gotta do is tap into it. Better to do it with Him, because then you can have a bit of guidance on it, and speak into the right places. But you need to remember, repetition, repetition, repetition. That's how anybody gets good at anything. You just keep doing it. You do it a lot. You do it some more. And soon you find whatever you're doing is easy. Everyone does it at some point, and to some degree. Like with driving. That's the best example of it. We all know what it's like when we first start driving. We may have even started in the laps of our parents. Just doing the simple stuff like not making the steering wheel do this. And learning how to keep it straight. And when you veer, you correct it a bit. Until eventually, we build a subconscious pattern of correction. Then we're allowed to do a bit more. Get to that age of 15, we need to start practicing, or even before, if you can sneak it in your yard. And eventually, you start driving with a person beside you. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. No, I'm not going to start quoting Shrek. I know that's a real song too, but I gotta look that one up. It's been a while. But soon, you can drive well enough that you're able to schedule a test. Everybody goes through the driving test. What did I say about speeding? No speed. Stay in the black if I can help it. There we go. Perfect. Until eventually, you get 12 years down the line and you don't even think about it anymore. You hop in the car, you crank it, and you get from point A to your point B and to all the little points in between. And before you know it, you look back and say, well, I guess I'm pretty good at driving now. But you got to do that with everything. That's what I'm going to start doing. Hey, I'm going to be nice. Come on. Oh, you got oh, wait, there you go. There you go. That's better. That's better. Anyway. Gotta treat the AI like puppies. Yeah, I know. Some of my early videos, I haven't exactly had mercy on the AI, but you always gotta start in the wrong before you make things right. Or eventually you get out of right and wrong in general and you just start living life. But anyway. Oh! I know what I can do. Pass the time till somebody gets here, if somebody gets here. If and when. And just put me on some, let's see here. Yeah. Nice little 80s music in the background ought to do. Like I'm gonna be making money off of this anyway. Yeah, sit here dancing in my chair. If I had a VR headset or a AR, whatever you want to call those goggles, I'd be, well, you know, doing like this, except not that dramatic. I don't want to make people motion sick. I know what that's like. God, that sucks. That's why I'd normally have to sit in the front or make sure that where we're going is in view of me. But I've gotten a lot better lately. Jamming out. Here we go. Oh yeah. God, I'm gonna have to start playing more music. That's my favorite thing to do. Just play music with people better than me. Gives me ideas. It's one thing that'll be fun. Sunday is getting to show up at church and start playing. You know what, I'll speed a little bit to get out of the left lane because I know I'm not supposed to be here. I don't need to be in the left lane. So I'll hurry up and get in and get out. You know what? That was a bad idea, turning on the radio. You know what? No. No. No thanks. I'm good. That just ruined me for music right now. Not my style. One, I'm not a single lady. Two, I gotta drive, so I'm not putting my hands up. And three... no, just... How about no? I mean, if only I could get some dedicated Hall & Oates on here, but... I'd have to add that in, wouldn't I? Yeah, there's that specific section right, yeah, the music player. Put your songs into ATS music folder in your documents and you will see them here. Great! I'll do that later. I'll start compiling some different trucking music. I know I ain't talking about banjo. Because last time I checked, I'm not anywhere near Kentucky. And I can't go far enough. Wait, no, that's Kentucky right there. Yep, because I see Mississippi, Louisiana. Can't zoom out far enough. Anyway. Yes. Very calm, very soothing. But still doesn't make me want to do it in real life. I mean, even on the way to the dentist, talking with my dad, the real truck driver. One of the men of truck driving. He could drive anything with a steering wheel. Oh, I discovered his viewpoint. There it is. Not going in there. I got me a job to do. Anywho. Where I was, yeah, Dad. In the middle of traffic in Tampa, Florida. and having to deal with truckers in the left lane not even going the speed limit. That, I know, would be aggravating. Man, I'm starting to love that pre-pass. And having to deal with other truckers merging into his lane. Man, that just sucks. I'm just glad that the AI here is extremely accurate in their driving. To the point where if there's going to be an accident, it's probably going to be my fault. Which means I have to pay attention. Oh, I got a green. Yay. Nice and easy. Truck's not as maneuverable as I would like. There we go. And into the right lane. One of these days I'm going to have to get me a convoy buddy. Somebody else that I can Discord chat with here in ATC. And while he's pulling a load somewhere, I can be pulling a load somewhere. Maybe I can buy my own server eventually. It's just ideas. Get people in on stuff. Split up, have conversations, talk about junk and stuff. Just little things. That's the spice of life, is those odd conversations you can have with strangers. After all, some strangers are just friends you haven't met. It's the best way to find new friends is to start talking to strangers. Just don't be stupid about it. That's what we all end up doing in high school anyway. You find people to talk to, you be casual and friendly. Hi, my name's Robert. And she'll be all, hi, I'm Denise. And who's the nephew? Ha ha! And then she doesn't talk to you anymore. Well, anywho, that's just part of my experience. No, not really. That's how it felt sometimes, and it was like that with certain people, but for the most part, when you're around the thing that you love, and other people are in it, and they love it too, you can have really nice conversations. That was so nice about band and chorus. You could always find the people who loved to play their instrument, because they were either playing it, cleaning it, reading their music, doing something, talking about popular musicians who play that instrument, doing stuff like that. Then you can talk about your little hobbies, like who plays what game and how good they are at it. You can always find the COD players and the Battlefield play. I just almost missed my turn. You darn game, you got me monologuing. So I need to, just drive. Driving is good. It's how I make the moolah. Alright, since I'm a newbie, where do you want it? Because I gotta get the practice in. Because even driving in third person with the controller, it does not make it easy to drive. Well, forward, yes, it's easy. Backwards, and in parking spaces, no. So, I gotta do some jank stuff to get this in here. Because there are many things that I can do. Back long trailers, I found out the hard way I cannot. So, let's see what I can do about that. Nice and easy. See, this is where I think I'd want to catch up. But it was actually too late to catch up. Yeah. Anyhow. Let's just keep going then. I know where I need to be, I just gotta get it there. Ah! No, no, no. This way. There we go. Alright, then we'll just stop and we'll increase the angle a little bit. This is where having those single axle trucks would be nice, but then again, I don't know if you'd have 30,000 pounds with a truck like this. Is that gonna hit? I can't tell, and I don't trust it. Oh, I'm just messing this up. If Dad were watching right now, he'd be laughing his tail off, because I cannot drive a semi. Well, I can drive it forward just fine. I can pull trailers in real life. I can back yard trailers and boats and all kind of stuff. But when it comes to backing this thing, it's not easy. Ah! Can't see my wheels. Alright, you know what? Let's see here. Turn it this way. I will try to use these mirrors to back this in. I'm not skipping the parking. Shut up. Is that gonna hit? No, we're good. But I'm still crooked. You know what? Doesn't matter if it's crooked. If they'll take it, I'll take it. Ah, look at that. They'll take it. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted myself. Huh. Well, time to repent of that. I'm gonna start putting some faith in me. You gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. Great, now I'm gonna have to learn that song, because it's the only way that song's gonna get out of my head. Bam! Level 3. Let's see. I want to at least have 3 in long distance. Gotta make those 1,000-mile drives. So we'll apply, and then we'll start working on everything else. We can help you grow. Sir or madam, we couldn't help but notice your steady earnings, and we would like to assist you with developing your potential even further. Your credit limit has been raised to $500,000. Feel free to draw from the available sum anytime at your local bank center. Respectfully, Sales Meneger. Very foreign. But I'll keep that in mind. Don't feel like going in debt right now, but, we unlocked some mirrors. Painted main. A 6x4 for the 57. Ah, the 6x4 SFA with only 150. That's not enough. Painted for the 49. A 6x4 for the 5700XE. As well as standard front mirrors, cabin deflectors. Now look, I'm not getting a truck here yet until I have the money to buy it. Preferably without taking a loan from the bank. Would be the nicest thing. But, you know, sometimes you gotta do it. What's this button? Okay, yeah. There we go. Now I have me some background music. So, 1250. Quick job. I just went to Gallup. So, what's a nice job from here in Gallup? How long is this one in this Kenny? 7 hours? I'd be cutting it close. I do want to be in bed at 8, and if it's 7 hours and 30, I don't really want to speed. That's my only thing. Where's this taking me? Ooh, up to Grand Junction in Colorado? Well, it's 6:25, so... And they want it there by Tuesday? 8? I mean, that is plenty of time. And I'm driving a International. Should I? Yeah, you know what? I'll take the International. They're not all bad. Even if it does have the pack car. Dad, if you were watching, I'm not getting Poisoned again. Alright, truck looks good. I didn't even look at the load. It is gypsum. Whatever that is. Alright. Got 13 hours to get there. I got a little bit to go. Truck's warm. Trailer's attached. Let's go. And maybe with my jank fuel efficiency driving, I can make it all the way on one tank. Should be able to. Don't see why I wouldn't. But let's get this puppy out of here. Hopefully I don't hit the stop sign on the... Oh, I'm gonna definitely... There we go. Saved it. Ooh, see, the maneuverability on this is so much better than the other truck. One advantage to the day cabs. Somebody coming there. Can't really see. He turned. We're clear. We're clear. Good, good, good. Ah, this really is my therapy. If this is your first video watching of me, I enjoy driving. Just something about it. It's very simple. It's very, I would say mundane, but you do have to watch out for traffic and construction work and speeding. Real truckers would have to do tons of stuff before they ever move the truck. I don't really feel like doing all that, so I'll just drive in the simulator. I've ridden in enough semis to know it's not the most comfortable unless you make it that way. You can get special ordered seats and... Oh, hey, I got a window. I knew it was going to turn. Anyway, let's see about making this wide as possible. Trailer's actually not too long. Driving a bit too safe, but hey, it's what it is. Alrighty. Anyway, now see, I don't know if I want to allow myself to cheat and use the third-person view to spy on the lights, or if I just want to react to it, because I mean, my reactions are faster than that quarter of a second that's the average. But I'm doing this to be calm, not to be super gamer. If I wanted to be super gamer, I'd go and play some of those older racing games like, let's see, PGR 4, Forza Horizon. Those would be games that if I'm trying to react and be super accurate all the time, that's the games I would play. Man, that's brings up some memories. Be sick at home in junior high, have to kill the time because, well, parents, both of them worked, and it's just me at the house. So, hook up the old Xbox 360, still have her. Throw in PGR 4, and back then I only played on the medium difficulty, just so I could drift everywhere and get tons of kudos and show off and have fun. And then Forza Horizon, same kind of thing, except I did play on, what is it, very hard? Their hardest difficulty, just because I wanted to get better, even better at racing. So I would get into a race, and if I hit something or if I knew I was going to lose, I'd just restart and see what it would take to win. Until eventually it came to the point where they would have to either sabotage me or I'd have to make a serious mistake. And every time I did, I'd start back over. Because that's how I learn. I mess up, okay, we'll just start again. I messed up again, it's okay, we'll just start again. Wouldn't change the difficulty, but just leave it until I got good enough to win. Just gotta brute force it sometimes. Keep hitting your head against that brick wall till eventually the brick starts to give. Now I know that doesn't always work in real life, because even the martial artists, when they start hitting things to break their own bones, yes, they do that. Breaking those little trabeculi so that they can calcify and grow back stronger. They start with softer things, like that sheet wood and plywood. They'll hit their hands on those boards and the stumps, the wooden dummies, to break those bones. They have to. They have to splinter and break them to build them. It's just like muscle. When you go from aerobic to anaerobic and you keep pushing, you have to push the limit to break it so that you can push again and go further until it breaks. It's how you gotta do it in life. We're okay with the babies doing it. Baby starts to walk, he takes one step, he falls. That's okay, you're doing good. He gets back up, he takes one step, he falls. Oh, that's okay, you're still doing good. He gets up, he takes 2 steps, he falls. Hey, look, progress! And yet when people start doing something and they make a mistake, it's the worst thing ever, and they're a failure, and blah blah, and they gotta practice more, and do this, and go in your free time, and do all that. Come on now. Have a little bit of mercy. If you want to get something, first you gotta give it. Oh dear. I realize the mess I'm making myself. Up ahead, I need to be turning left, and there's Nutso over here in the other international. I can say what I want. It looks like a dude. He's got nuts. He's Nutso. I mean, I would hope he would. If he's a eunuch, I'd kind of feel bad. Unless he chose to be one. Then I guess it's a little different. But I digress. Either I'm going to have to hope this truck has enough horsepower and torque to get ahead of him, or I'm going to have to fall back with my blinker and pray somebody lets me over. No, I think I got it. So this is where I want to cheat and use third person, but I got a speed to get ahead of him, so there we go. Oh no, you got it. No. No. Not now. Let's see. 4 hours. Oh, well, okay. I mean, I guess that works. That's a recruitment center. This is a truck dealer. We'll go by that. Okay, fine. Well, see, now I feel bad. This is where I'd either have to airdrop $1 or something and apologize and say, I'm sorry, dude. Well, not I'm sorry, I apologize. There's power in words. Sorry is a terrible state to be in. Oh, now look at you. See, you would be getting $1 too. And I'd say, thank you for letting me over. Is anybody in my blind spot? I don't think so. Oh, there you go. Come on. Left you a little bit of space. This is why I like to check the remaining hours, because I've got enough to play. But that if I was in a let's see, they have the standard delivery. They have the green, the blue, and the red arrows. I gotta think of what they are. Well, there's a standard delivery. Duh. Then there's the, oh, come on, I choose to know. I've seen it, so I can know it. There's it's like a timely. It's got the blue arrows, because when it's 1, it's green. When it's 2, it's blue. And when it's 3, it's red. I just call it timely and hasty. Standard delivery, you can just take it and pace yourself and drive the speed limit for fuel efficiency, because you have plenty of time as long as you're in base game settings, like I am. And you should always get there with a couple hours to spare. Well, that is if you're taking longer distances. If you're trying to stay in town and do this stuff, may not be. But you'll always have spare time in a standard delivery. When it's blue, you know you've got to hammer down a little bit. You don't have to break the law, but you do have to make sure that you're keeping pace. And you'll still have a decent amount of time to spare. It won't be enough to play around and do large detours, but it will be enough that even if you're having a hard time parking, you should be able to get the delivery in time. And the reds, well, let's just say if I take a delivery and it needs to be there yesterday, so to speak, then that mile per hour gauge on my display would be red as often as I can keep it. I'm not saying bright red to where it would get me in serious trouble, but I am saying I would be boogieing. Because I want to get it there. I know that if there is a delay, that cuts the time and you got to keep going. Hey, look, a bucket. But those are also the most money-efficient deliveries to do. Because people will pay for something to be there as close to now as possible. Kind of funny how backwards it is. We're supposed to let patience have her perfect work. Why's it gotta be a she? You show me the last time a woman was patient. I'm kidding, that's a joke. You take offense to that. That's your problem. There's no apology for that. Don't take offense. If I'm offended at something, it's because I can be offended, and that's my problem. And I will have to deal with that. Because offense is a weakness. Somebody else can control my emotions by just saying one thing. That leaves me to their mercy. Last time I checked, a lot of people are lacking in the mercy department. And they're like me. They get a controller in their hands and they're going to start pushing buttons. Because it makes things happen. But for the sake of future audiences, unless y'all like that kind of thing, I will refrain from making these jokes until I have an audience that can take these jokes as jokes. Then I will leave it at that. Or I'll apologize in advance. I'll make up my mind when I get there. You can only cross the bridge that you reach. Alright, little car. I don't have my blinker on. You need to be passing me so I can get over. Gotta get in that lane. Oh, now you're gonna... Okay. You know what? Fine. It's fine. You're gonna pass me too. I'm gonna turn on my blinker right now. Now, even if he gets over... Yeah, that's right. You don't want to be up in here. Anywho. You know what? I'm going to let the truck and the game speak for itself for a little bit. This is what I enjoy. Ah, the memories. Ooh, game didn't like that. Go ahead. Kick back, relax. Fluff up that pillow in the sleeper. Not of this truck, but wherever you're at. And relax as this low rumbling diesel. Wide open roads. And stress-free time lulls you into a peaceful sleep, if that's what you need. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting eventually. When I can have some people to help me make a story out of this. I mean, think about it. I didn't even realize. I only thought I was a third generation that liked to drive trucks. But I'm the fourth. My grandpa, great-grandpa, on my Nana's side was also a trucker. So that makes him on my Nana's side. My dad's dad, an Army staff sergeant in Vietnam, who also drove Army trucks. My dad, who would have been a phenomenal baseball player right up there with the ranks of Chipper Jones, because he's played against him in high school, and was a really good location pitcher. But when his coach made him choose between baseball and family, his honorable and integral heart led him to choose family. But then there's me. Not the black sheep of the family, but definitely the horse of a different color. Musically talented, but too stage scared to use it. Stage fright is a terrible curse. God knows I would help anybody to get out of it if I knew they would not suffer the same fate that I did. And all of a sudden I find out that driving, even amongst tough traffic, is therapeutic at a simple level. Found it nice to be able to drive my truck, my dad's truck, and whoever's pickup trucks around and park them with ease into any parking space I liked. Pull boats, backyard trailers, and even be able to replicate one of my dad's great feats that I used to love to watch. Because we used to live down a dirt road. And since he hauled a pretty long feed trailer, he would back that trailer all the way down the dirt road into the driveway and park 99% of the time in one shot, no pulling up. So that inspired me in high school. When I was comfortable driving, I had a 77 Ford F100 Custom, and it had a 289, which is a small block, but it had the glass packs, so it really nicely. Even though it was an automatic, I sure made fun with that truck. Not fun of, I love that truck. Bench seat, short wheelbase, just glided across the road. And I found out that first gear would go all the way to 45 miles an hour. But I started pulling a short yard trailer, even shorter than that truck. Well, maybe. They were similar size though, so what I'm going to say is pretty impressive to a driver. And I looked at that dirt road, and I didn't have any practice. But I backed that short yard trailer down that road in my pickup truck, and at least got into the yard, the driveway, before I had to pull up and straighten up. And I was proud of myself. And I told Dad about it, and he said, "Now that's impressive. I do it in a trailer that's much longer than my truck, and that gives me a lot of leeway for correction. But with you pulling that short yard trailer, you have to be on top of correcting it." And he was right. Sadly, though, coming out of high school one day, I was going to go and visit the junior high because I knew they'd still be in. And I was thinking about seeing my old teacher, because my cousin was in the band too. And I was going to come and do stuff with them and just have fun musically and, you know, try to inspire the upcoming generation for music. Bro, are you okay? Is everything alright up there? Oh no, there's a wreck. Well, time to cheat. Anyhow, I'll finish that. Coming out of high school, this actually isn't the modded one, so I gotta change that. Standard trucking. Standard is fine. If I need to change it to something like base game trucking, I'll do it later. So, now we need to load. Here we go, universe manipulation. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Go, 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 go. Gotta get in this lane. And like I said, coming out of high school, there was a lot of traffic. And I didn't realize when it was going to stop. So I hit my brakes really hard, and I did not hit the truck in front of me. I stopped just in time. And it was one of those county trucks that have the all-metal beds and a hitch, so it would have done some serious damage to my truck. And I stopped 2.5 feet away from it, wiping my brow, until I heard the screeching tires from behind me. And my first thought was, oh God. The impact forced the back of my head into the windshield. Didn't destroy it, didn't crack anything on me, but it smashed the bed of the truck into the cab, knocked the liner off of the cab, pinched my exhaust, and sent me forward, which then, of course, since I was 2.5 feet away from the county truck, sent my front into it. But luckily, these 70s trucks are all metal, so it took the beating pretty well. And not thinking anything about it, now I realize it was the wrong thing, but I pulled my truck out of the road and helped the guy sweep parts of his smashed BMW off of the road. And then I just sat by my truck. The lady whose house was right in front of us, well, right beside us, it was kind of in front to the right because I was heading east on 16 towards, well, Green Cove Springs, towards Highway 17 when the accident occurred. And the lady was so nice to me. She gave me a bottle of water, she checked up on me, she helped keep me calm till my mom was... she might have been speeding because her little baby was hurt. I was hurting a little bit, but not enough. The adrenaline was kicking in, so I didn't realize how much the back of my head was going to hurt later. I was fine, no brain damage. You can't really do much to this. This brain's got its own problems, and shaking it around's not going to hurt me. So, the police officer comes in, he takes our accounts, the guy has no insurance, and it just so happened that my parents were transferring insurances, and so I had no coverage. So, sadly, my truck was parked, and it stayed parked for years down the line. Parents felt bad, and they got me a replacement car, but the car was a 2011 Dodge Caliber, and it had that pneumatic transmission. It's basically like a cone, a gear cone with a gear inside of it, So it drove a whole lot differently and didn't do as much for me. And whenever I could, I'd try to take Dad's pickup truck to school instead, because he had an '03 Ford F350 Power Stroke V8 turbo diesel with lariat seats, leather. Except it was at 6.0, so you can imagine how the motor went later. But that hurt me. That truck was nice. That was my first baby. I would vacuum that truck out, I would sweep it. I would take girlfriends for rides in it. I would bail people out when they needed rides to go home down back alley. I mean, not back alleys, but dirt roads. I made a lot of fond memories in that truck. Some embarrassing ones. But, hey, it is what it is. You always remember your first of whatever. Your first love, your first heartbreak, your first time disappointing somebody. The only issue is with memories like that, any negative memory, you have to take the power out of it. Negativity is a one-way prison. It keeps you, well, actually no, it's two-way now that I consider. Keeps other people from really giving anything to you. And even if you get it, it keeps you from keeping it. It's like having a hole in your hands. But I will say that my current truck, a 2016 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 5.7 liter Hemi, Bighorn, it's a nice truck. And I do enjoy it. Eventually I want to take the truck off of them, my parents, so that I can have it for myself. Even though they say it's my truck already, I keep telling them, I don't know if I can consider it mine until I'm the one fully taking care of it. You may understand. But I had to let go of that truck, because reminiscing on it, missing it, wasn't helping me. Just like all of the relationships of everyone that I've dated, and actually dated. I called them my girlfriend and treated them nicely. I cared for every one of them. And it's a different kind of love. You can love people with the agape love that God talks about, where they don't have to do anything for you. You just choose to love on them, love them, see the good in them, and encourage them for that. But in a relationship, it's a different kind of love that you get. That romantic love. There's a specific Greek word for it, a Roman word. But you just gotta learn to love and let go. Just holding on to what's not doesn't do anything for you. But I do understand the trap. After all, what a fool believes he sees. No wise man has the power to reason away. Forgive me if any of you have perfect pitch like I do. I know I messed up. It's a tough place. When you never make somebody think twice about anything that you say or do. But you realize that, one, you're either incompatible, or two, they are not going to reciprocate. You have to move on. Well, as long as you're not fully committed. If you fully commit and you're married, you've got to stick it out. There's more at stake than just your and her happiness. Marriage is a covenant between the two of you and God. That's what's so significant about it. That's why I'm not going there. No, I won't do it. I have other stuff that's better to do. But I'll continue this thought. That was why Jesus said that unless fornication is involved, unless somebody cheats, you stick it out. And even then, there was a specific prophet in the Old Testament that had to marry a prostitute because God was trying to show his people something. Something that the hardness of their hearts wouldn't let them understand. And so he married a prostitute. He spent his time, money, and resources on her. They had a wonderful family together, but she allowed herself to be drawn back into her old ways. Right back to the same job that he took her from. But instead of letting her go, because through the law he could, instead he hunted her down and he brought her back into his house. Apparently not forcefully, because it would have said so. There's a lot of laws about forcing yourself upon somebody, and hardness of your heart made them lash out and do this, but that wasn't it. Through his love, he drew her back to his house, and it's not written if she ever left again. But even if she did, I would say that he would do the same thing. Because God was telling his people, I have loved on you. I have brought you out of Egypt. I have showed my love unto you, my provision, my protection, my peace. And yet you go a-whoring after the idols of the land in which you dwell. And yet I come back for you, because I have chosen you to be my representatives upon the earth. And all who would come unto your covenant, I would treat the same. And that's when you know your heart is in the right place. If that person can show their weakness and you don't take offense for it, and instead of giving a harsh correction, you lovingly embrace them. Not with ignorance, but with grace and mercy. Because the rod and the staff are supposed to be comforting. Read Psalms 23. And I would have done that for any of them. Now, I was not a perfect person in high school. Far from it. But that was my heart. And once I finally make that commitment to somebody who I want somebody to make that commitment to me. Have that same heart that I do. That would say, no, you may not be perfect yet. And even if you're not on this earth, then I'll still be with you to help perfect you in the right ways and to show what of God's love that I can reciprocate. I always seem to get back to preaching. I've had 8 now? Yeah. 8 separate strangers ask me if I'm a preacher. And I have preached in a church, a small one. It was so far away from home that I actually had to stay in a little bitty hotel next to the church for the night before I could get home. Wake up early in the morning and make that long, it was a long drive to get home. But I was used to making long drives. Used to be a girl I would drive an hour for, a little over an hour for, just to get to her house and hang out with her for a couple hours and then drive another hour to get back home. But that's the thing about love. To know true love, you have to know God. You have to know the true God, not the God that you believe. I mean, even if you can believe in the true God, your current perception of Him is still limited. You have to get down into who He actually is. And He hid parts of Himself in you. Come on, your nose is snuck out. Oh, you're gonna... Okay. I'm going. Watching you. Don't say how close that bus was. I know. But I digress. You have to take life in that way. It's not about what's right or wrong, about what's good or evil, though it is about what's life. Because those were the 2 trees in the garden. The Garden of Eden, of pleasure. A place where Adam and Eve played with God to show His image in them and to fill the earth and subdue it with Him, His love, His perfection that He put in them. And He would call us back to it, but under a new Adam, under Christ, the Son of Man. And all He's asking for is our hearts. What is it about you people? And I can say the same thing because I was a part of, well, yeah, the man that died of me in the baptism pool. Pond. It was a pond in someone's yard. He died, but he was that way. You think you're not worthy. It's not about how worthy you are. Nothing of the old works could deem you as worthy. What makes you worthy is your potential. You are capable of being the image of God made manifest. But you must have a new nature. You must be born again. But this time it's from above. Huh. The same man who descended from above came and said, "You must be born from above." And He gave you the means. He paid for it. And He gave you a spirit that would teach you. That same spirit that walked with Adam in the garden when he was a living soul. Still was during the fall, but his connection to life was gone. It had to be. They didn't want him eating from the tree of life in his dead and dying state. For him to live eternally separate from them. That is hell. But how long? How long will you run from the love that already said, I paid for your sin. I said that you are worth the cost, or else I would have paid less. But I showed you what you're capable of, and I proved to you what you're worth, to me, and therefore to the Father. You want rest? Come to me. Go to Christ. I can only do so much for you. We can bear one another's burdens. But until you take your burden to the Lord and leave it there, it's going to be heavy. But you're trading a heavy burden for a light one. His yoke is easy because he still carries it with you. Realize that. A yoke of oxen is 2 ox. And if you follow the Hebrew mindset, you always put a weak ox and a strong ox together. The weak ox would be young, and he would need to learn the path. But that's why he was put with an old ox. The old ox was strong and carried 90% of the burden, but also guides the young ox so that he can learn the path. Christ is the ox. He's the old one. And all he's asking you to do is learn his way. Plowing his field is easy. You just gotta love on people. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. And everybody does it. Even unsaved people will love their own. You can see heathenistic people far from the Lord loving on their animals, loving their job. But yet, the truth of love is not fully realized in their life. I know what it's like. We all have been there, and if we aren't already there, there's always somebody who can say, yeah, that was me. Here's how I dealt with it. That's why Christ had to come and be a man. The very word of God said, I would lay down my divinity and I will go and live your life. I won't cheat. I'll prove to you what's possible. In your ways, I'll eat your food, drink your water, work your fields. And he had to. He grew up in a carpenter's house. Whether you want to interpret that as actual carpenters for wood, because they could get wood from Lebanon and work on it, or stonemasons. He is everything perfect anyway. He's the stone that the builders rejected, which became the cornerstone. He's the rock upon which we stand, and upon which the gates of hell cannot prevail against. He is the living water. He's the bread of life. That cloud of shade by day, the bright fire for guidance by night. And all he would say is, come unto me. That was a good song that I used to sing of those redback hymnals. It's come unto me, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon. Heed me and be blessed. Yeah. It's that simple. You accept salvation. You accept the death of everything that you think you know. And you take Christ as your master. You take Holy Spirit as your teacher. And you take Jehovah as your God. As your Father. After all, like father, like son. Lord, I always get on these tangents. I guess it's where I feel at home. It's what I know. A lot of people know sports in and out. Which college football team is playing on this day, or which tennis player has just gotten their first loss of the season, or what baseball player is currently suffering with tennis elbow. But yet, there are adoption papers signed with their name and written in innocent blood, and they don't care. Now, I get it. There are a lot, and I do mean a lot, of people that give Christianity a bad taste for someone else. But one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole tree. It's just that. One bad apple, and only because it didn't stay on the vine long enough. If he is your vine, you are his branches, and you stay rooted and grounded in love, you will bear his fruit. And look at what his fruit are. Love, joy, peace, long suffering, that's just patience. Goodness, gentleness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And once you live in it, your problems are gone. Well, that, and you learn how to deal with what pops up. Truly you can glory in tribulations when you see it as a way to build a new strength. Yeah, it's gonna be a journey to see what kind of people can deal with a guy like me. I'm part of that royal priesthood, that holy generation. The peculiar people. Because God knows I am very atypical. Let's give our guy a good rest tonight. So, let's look in the jobs. I just went to, I think, Durango. Wait, I can check. Genius. I can check. Oh, I went to Gallup. So, let me see where Gallup is right now. Oh, there you are. Gallup. 7 in the morning. Ah, here we go. Gallup to... I'm definitely gonna have to sleep for that one. Or Maybe I'll take an easier job. Well, it would say, what do you think? But, ain't nobody here. Well, it is what it is. You know what? This will be a good place to pick up tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead, save over standard trucking. You sure want it? Yes. And call that a night. So, if you were willing to put up with that rant that I went on, good for you and God bless you. Because I'm probably going to head off to bed soon myself. That's the whole reason I don't want to be a real trucker. Because that's a tough thing to do, is get behind that steering wheel, hear that truck purr like it does. Imagine the road rocking you to sleep, tires going woo woo woo, the wind blowing on the windshield. It's perfect. But that'll be it for tonight. So, God bless whoever watches this. I am heading